Hello there, you absolute legends. Emma McElhinney here with Piss Off Perimenopause and the musings of a bullshit queenager. I am here to ruin your misconceptions about perimenopause, fat loss, and kick midlife in the face. So if you think your 40s are a drag, think again. Because every week I am going to be stripping down the myths about perimenopause. I'm serving you raw, unfiltered truths about your health and smashing misconceptions about fat loss. And a whole lot more. So if you thought you knew midlife, you don't know the half of it. Aging is inevitable, but getting old is a choice. So buckle up, grab a glass of something yummy, and let's get to it. And welcome to the next episode of Piss Off Perimenopause. And we are going big. We're going deep and dirty today with setting yourself up for success for 2024. And if you're listening to this in 2024, then you can do it for setting yourself up for success for next week or for next month or whatever time you want to have success in. Okay, so we are going to be covering off lots of different things. There's probably going to be some rants in here. There's probably going to be some random stuff that won't make any sense. Well, it might make sense. We don't know. I don't tend to script my podcasts, so just bear with me and I'll try and keep it under 30 minutes. She says, trying desperately to go, oh my God, can I keep under 30 minutes? I think I can. Okay, so if you are watching this and listening to this and it's the tail end of 2023, well done. You have got through for what has been a pretty shady year for quite a lot of people. I did some social media content and I did a top 5 amazing things that have happened in 2023 and top 5 really shit things that have happened in 2023. And I think it's really important that if you have had a pretty shit year, if you're a business owner, a lot of business owners have really, really struggled this year with the economic downturn, with the uncertainty, cost of living crisis, etc., etc. So a lot of people have really struggled, and there's been times I've been in that place. Or if you've really struggled with health or family, it's for a lot of people, it's been a really shit year. And I get that for many years can be shit. We're not always going to sail through life having the best time. There's going to be shit times. There is going to be shit times, and we need to recognize that. But we also need to recognize the resilience that you've had to be able to pull through shit times, or any learnings that you've taken from the shit times about how to handle difficult situations again. And it's really important to take a really good hard look at ourselves and be able to look ourselves in the eye and go, I handled that really well, or I handled that really shit and I wish I'd done it this way, or if this were to happen again, I would do nothing like I did the last time. But that's the level of self-awareness that most people never get. So if you've got the capability to be able to do that and look inwards and be really truthful with yourself, it's really important to do. And that's certainly something that I've been trying to do this year. And it's really hard to, not blame external circumstances all the time, but to really look inwards and take extreme ownership, extreme responsibility about the things that we could have done better or differently, or where we've maybe not been the person that we should have been. So yeah, right, let's get into how are we going to set ourselves up for huge success in 2024. Now, there's lots of different ways of setting goals, whether you call them goals or resolutions or whatever the hell you want to call them. It doesn't really matter. Like, if you want something different, you have to plan for it. You have to set a goal. Because if you don't set a goal, you're just going to be wishing for something that's, as a grown-ass woman, you kind of know that, Cinderella's not real. So let's go over that fact and stop wishing and hoping that things are going to happen to us. I know there's a big surge in manifestation, but even with manifestation, you can't just sit and, I hope I win the lottery. No, that's not how it works. So we're going to talk about how do we set ourselves up for success. What are the actions that we need to do in order to get planning, and also what are the actions that we need to do to get the results that we want. So obviously I'm going to be coming at this from a health perspective, a hormone perspective, a fat loss perspective, But you can apply these principles to any goals that you have. So if you're reading this, if you're listening to this and you're a business owner and you want to make 10K months, then you can apply the exact same principles I'm going to talk about into that. And what I would urge you to do is that your health, wellness, weight loss, fitness goals are not separate to any other goal. So one thing that I have found this year, and especially with business owners, is that they have their business goals and they're their business goals, and they're chasing. And then they have this health goal on top of it, but they don't treat it as the same level of priority. When you're doing your goals, you're doing all your goals together, whether it is relationship goals, family goals, whether you want to buy a caravan goal, whether you want to go and climb Everest goal, whether you want to drop 2 dress sizes goal, whether you want to make 10K months goal, it all sits in the same document or in the same notebook because your goals are as valid as each other. Okay, let's get that very, very clear. Don't deprioritize your health, fitness, or wellness goals for the sake of your money goals, because if you don't have your health and your fitness and your strengths, then you won't have a business. So there you go. And that sounds very simple and very easy, but you would be surprised at how fucking hard business owners find that. Like treating their own bodies with the same level of priority as their business, really, really hard. So although it sounds simple, it's really hard. Right, okay, goal setting. So what you want to do is you can do this digitally, you can do it in a bit of paper. There's, if you're in your mid-40s, then you're probably a little bit of a stationary nerd, and that's okay because most of us are. I want you to jot down, this is not going to be your final version, this is just workings at this stage. So get yourself a big bit of paper, or even just, let your mind wander. What is it that you really, really, really want? What do you really want? Now, this is, a lot of people get scared of even admitting what they want. And you're doing this work with yourself, okay? You're not doing this work with me. I'm not interrogating you about your goals. This is for you. So be bold, be big. Don't give 2 shits what anybody thinks about your goal, because at this stage, you're not even telling them. You're not telling a single person about your goal right now. So if you want to, get a promotion that is 50K a year more than you're earning just now, write it down. If you want to drop 3 stone, write it down. If you, don't even think about timelines just yet. Just what is it you really want? Do you want to go and live on a narrowboat on the Thames for a year? Write it down. Do you want to redevelop your garden? Write it down, right? Just write down what it is that you want. And then we're going to take the top 5. We want no more than 5 goals, really, because then it becomes a little bit really too hard to deal with. So when I first started working with my clients, normally their minimum term with me is 90 days, 3 months. And I normally recommend between 3 and 5 goals that are either the 90-day goals or they are 6 months to a year goals. And depending on how big their goals are, if they've got massive goals, then we only want to have 3, because then we're going to break them down into smaller goals. And if we have fairly, I don't want to say they're not challenging, because everybody's goals should be challenging. But if they take less time and they take less effort, then we'd maybe have 5 goals. Okay, so you don't really want to have any more than 3 to 5 goals. So get them down on paper, right? And I'll tell you mine. I've got 3 goals, but I'm only going to tell you about 2 goals because one of them's extremely personal. So I have a business goal, and I want my business to create consistent X amount of money every single month, minimum, right? Consistently, and note my words, consistently and minimum. And because when we're trying to absorb our minimum expectations. So my minimum expectation is to earn X amount every single month, right? Not round about it, minimum. And do it consistently, because one of my big challenges this past year has been very fluctuating. Yeah, very fluctuating income levels. So I've not been able to feel, what's the word? I've not been able to feel secure and confident that income month to month is going to be the same, right? And for me, one of my core values is all about emotional stability and, feeling secure. And if I don't feel secure, if I don't feel stable, then I'm not going to thrive. I'm not going to do very well. So that just gives you an idea of how this could work. Another one for me is dropping a dress size. So I dropped a dress size last year. If you read my email that's coming out in Hug Mini, I think the 31st, I go into a little bit more detail, like I think I gained a dress size in the early part of the year. It really messed up with my confidence. It wasn't that difficult to come back off again because I just implemented the same strategies that I teach my clients. But it kind of threw me for six. And now I want to lose another dress size because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna look quite hot. So yeah, that's for me. So they're my two big goals, and I've got a third one as well. So it doesn't matter whether you think, oh, people will think of me differently if I have this goal. These are your goals. Okay, so own it. So the next thing is, so write them down. You can even split a bit of paper into columns and do it this way, and it makes it, I can't actually show you because you're listening with your ears and not with your eyes. But anyway, so you've got your big headline goal. What is it that you want? And underneath that, I want you to write, why do you want that? You know, is it so you can feel, for most people, your goals should make you feel a certain way. And it should, for most people, their goals will be connected to either health. So, you know, that might be a fat loss goal, it might be a fitness goal, it might be a mental health goal, it might be, so it comes to health or it comes to wealth. So, you know, you want to make more money or you want to earn more hard cash, you want to buy a big fancy house. So health, wealth. Next one is relationships. So you want to have a closer connection to your husband, or you want to have an improved relationship with your children, or you want to, you know, relationships. And then the fourth one is status. And people shy away from this one. They're like, oh, no, I'm not status related. Like a lot of people are. So if you are, own it, it's fine. So it might be that some people might want to lose, like here's an example that I see, might want to lose body fat. Now, your most obvious reason why somebody might want to lose body fat is they want to have more body confidence, they want to feel sexier, and that will improve sexual relationships with their husband. You will get some people that want to drop body fat because they don't have body confidence that is helping them show up for their business. So they're not doing any social media photos of themselves, they're not doing any lives, they're not doing podcasts, they're just not putting themselves out there, they're not being visible. However, some people, and this is really quite common with like I work with business and career women, you know, women that would be known as achievers. One of theirs is actually status, to be able to prove to their colleagues, their peers, even their friends, ex-partners, that they have owned this, they have earned this body, that they have done it themselves. They've not resorted to surgery, they've not resorted to weight loss injections, that they have earned this. And when, you know, if you are that type of person, which chances are you probably are if you're listening to this, you'll know that that sense of inner pride and inner smugness, it can be a really big driving factor. So I totally get it. I can be very, very similar. As like one of my reasons why is to prove that people like me can, you know, talk about an income goal, people like me can do that. You know, I'm sure we've all seen and heard all these people like, I'm a gazillionaire, da, 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 da. And we all have this inner wee bitch that goes, aye, it's all right for you because you live in America, or because, you know, you're a model, or because you used to be in telly, or because, right? But you do get the odd person that is like, they grew up, you know, they grew up poor, they grew up normal, they're just a normal person. You're like, well, actually, yeah, I can prove to others that I can be a normal person and do that too. So yeah, so they're your main reasons why your goals will be important to you. Now, one of the best ways of writing this is you've got your goal. So I want to, let's go for it. I want to lose 2 dress sizes and I want to do it by mid-year. Do you want to do it in 6 months, right? You don't need to take 6 months. It can be done in as little as 3 months, but you know, do you. And then so I can feel. And that is your why. So I can feel proud, so I can feel healthy, so I can feel energetic, so I can feel, and you might have 2 or 3, sometimes even 4, so I can feels, and they'll all be directly connected to your why pretty much. So for me, I want to lose a dress size in 2024, and I'm going to nail that down and say by March in 2024, so I can feel smug that I've done it, so I can feel proud, so I can feel more energetic, so I can feel body confident. So there's my so I can feels already, right? So you have a think about what your so I can feels are. So we know we then have your goal, we then have your how it's going to make you feel. And then this is a really powerful thing, is what do we always have, when we set goals, we always have these goals, right? And when I reach this goal, I am going to do, right? But why can't you just do now? So when you look at your so I can feel or so I can do statements, what can you do in the here and now that is going to help you feel that way? So let's take mine, go back to I want to lose a dress size by March so I can feel smug and proud. Right. Okay. So how can I feel smug and proud just now? Right. So one reason for me is I can actually look at my client results, and that'll help me feel proud because I've got the tools, the knowledge, the experience, and the skills to be able to help other people do that. So that means I can do it for myself. So that's how I can feel smug and proud right now, is looking at my client results, looking at all the positive feedback that I had, looking at all the before and afters that I've had, looking at my own progress pictures from late last year. So that's an action that I can start doing right now to help me feel smug and proud. So the other one was, I can't remember what order I said, but the other one was for I feel more energetic and more alive and more buzzy. That's not really an official word, is it? But you get my drift. How can I start feeling like that now? Well, I know that if I get better quality nutrition, if I drink more water, and if I exercise, I will have more energy, because that's what those things do for everybody, not just me, for everybody. So what can I do right now to feel more energetic, to feel more buzzy, to feel more thingy, right? Well, I can drink 2 litres of water a day, I can get 10,000 steps in every single day, and I can eat 5 portions of fruit and veg every single day. Boom. There you go. That's me just added in some more actions, which are nothing to do with the number in the scales, but it's things that they're the inputs that will deliver the number in the scales, or the dress, or the inch loss. One of my other whys was feeling more, oh God, I can't remember what it was, body confident, wasn't it? Body confident. Right, so how do I feel more body confident now? Is by doing the inner work, by doing the positive statements, by actually looking at my body in the here and now and loving what is in the here and now. Because if we don't learn to do it in the here and now, chances are it's not going to work when you do reach your goal. Okay, so start with that self-love, those positive statements, those looking at yourself and really accepting yourself, warts and all, because nobody's got a perfect body. Maybe Cindy Crawford. Anyway, but looking at here now, and then you've got a whole load of actions that are going to deliver that result. Now, obviously, there are things like, in order to lose body fat, we do need to be in a calorie deficit, but that could be part of what actions are you going to take now? Because I know for me that looking at my nutrition overall is the thing. Like, my exercise is always fine, my fundamentals are always fine. It's just getting tighter on certain aspects. So there's my goals and my actions. I need to get those goals, because if we just say, like, SMART goals are really good, we can do them all day. Like, I will lose a dress size by March, right? That is a specific goal, but it doesn't tell me how I'm going to do it. So if you start looking at the actions behind it, so I'm going to lose a dress size by March so I can feel body confident, sexy, smug, proud, and here's the actions that I need to do it. And then when you've got those actions visible, you'll do them. If you diarise them, you'll do them. If you have them on your post-it notes, you'll do them. So that's a good way of doing it. So as what it is, why do you want it, and the actions that you need round about it. Now, the next part, and this is a bit that hardly anyone ever does, is what does it feel like when you're there, when you're living these goals, when you are that person that's now a size 10, or that person that's now a gazillionaire, or that person that's living in this luxury house, or that person that's got a really harmonious relationship with their family. What does that feel like? And you've got to spend time on this. Like, and I don't mean like sitting hours meditating, but even just closing your eyes for 4 minutes, 3-4 minutes, and just putting yourself in that screen of your future life. And we call it your future self. Other people call it other things. I can't think what other people call it, but visualizing what that life looks like and feels like, and really starting to embrace it. And the reason why we do this is, I heard this phrase before, but your mind doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined. So if you are vividly imagining all of this stuff, your brain doesn't know if it's real or not. So it'll then start making subconscious choices to get to that place, because that's where it thinks you are. So that's where your choices will come from, your decisions will come from. So start doing it every single day. It's so powerful, so powerful. But most people don't do it consistently. And if you've done any kind of work, if you've ever done any work with Denise Duffield-Thompson or any kind of Gabby Bernstein, Tony Robbins, all of these kind of big guru type people, they all say the same things, that these little things done consistently are the things that will move the needle. And yeah, you've got to do the actions, which we talked about there. But when you do that, when you start doing this vivid imagination work as well as, doing your actions, because there is no result that won't come without massive action, but you've got to get the mind right at the same time as well. Now, that's all very well and good, but you're going to forget to do this stuff, aren't you? Or it's going to be too hard or too boring, or it's not working. Why should I even bother? Try it. Just try it. Put it in, put reminders in your calendars to review your goals every single day. Put reminders in your calendar to review, to do the actions that you've decided that you need to do every single day. Just do it, because if you don't plan for it, you won't do it, right? Now, the same goes for things like exercise, meal prepping, getting outside, all of these kind of things, because obviously this is all health-based. If you are busy, which you are, because everybody's really busy, excuse me, need some water. If you're really busy, you're not going to add in a shed ton of new things into an already busy life when you don't have time. So we need to take a fresh look at prioritization. Now, see things like, if I say to you, oh, you need to drink more water, you need to go more steps, you need to do more exercise, all these kind of things, you know that. And that's where this annoying phrase of, I know what to do, I'm just not doing it, comes from. And honestly, that phrase annoys the life out of me. Because it's just, I just feel like going, well, why are you not doing it? Maybe you don't know. Maybe you need to take a look and go, actually, I don't know what to do, or I don't know how to do this. Instead of trying to blindly go through life cramming stuff in that you don't know how to do, or whether you're doing the right thing. So where was I? This right. So this is where we have to use your strengths. Now, everybody has to drink, everybody has to hydrate, so make it water. You do need to get steps in. How can you make it easier on yourself? Can you do client voice notes while you're out on a walk? Can you do what do you call that? Dictate? I don't know if that's the right word. Can you dictate your social media content into an app that will then transcribe it for you? Can you do walking team meetings? Things like that. Be creative about what it is that you have to do, and how can you adapt the things that you're already doing to make it a little bit better. One of my clients, she does a lot of meetings, and she's a CEO of a company. She obviously has a lot of meetings, and a lot of these meetings are like all day meetings or lunch meetings. And she was saying, she's like, oh, it's always the same. They always bring in these stodgy sandwiches, and they're like, I always feel a little bit bloated and a little bit low in energy. And I was like, okay, well, how can we change that? I don't really know. And I was like, are you not the CEO? Like, you are the one that's in charge, so you can adapt that. And what if, how would you feel if somebody in that meeting went into a carrier bag and came out with something else, like a salad pot? How would that affect you? Would that impact you? And she's like, no, absolutely not. Like that. Well, there you go then. You can take in your own stuff. You don't have to be a slave to your surroundings and your environment. You can change these things. And sometimes just taking that permission to go, do you know what? We have to look out for number one sometimes, and that number one is you. and only you can do that. And I'll bet you find if you've caught yourself up in this whole, oh God, I can't do this because of X, Y, and Z, and all of these external things and all these environmental things mean that I can't. Sometimes just a couple of simple changes everything. So start looking at your surroundings and environment and see how they can help you be better rather than limit you. And I think that's really powerful when we start taking control. You know, I've been in places where I've been to like networking events, for example, and I know that it's always going to be like pastries or cakes or sausage rolls or things that I know are not going to make me feel good. And, you know, sometimes I will have a couple of sausage rolls because, you know, everybody loves a buffet. But in my bag, I will always have a banana or an apple or a protein shake or just planning, putting a little bit of prep and planning into your life goes a long, long way. Prime example, I was at the school fair concert a couple of weeks ago, and I met a friend, one of the other mums, and she's like, oh my God, I'm starving. She ran straight from her work to this thing, and like, here I go, pulled out a banana, like, have this. So that, you know, hunger is never an emergency here in the UK for the most part, right? So, but having that little bit of prep behind you means that your decision making is going to be slightly healthier. So, you know, if that lady hadn't eaten the banana, she might have ended up going home via the chip shop or something. But now she doesn't need to because she's had a banana enough to see her through and stop her going mental with hunger before she gets home. So all of these kind of things matter, right? So getting all these goals written down, getting visible, making screenshots, putting them on your phone, putting them on your PC, putting them on post-it notes. The more visibility, the more you're absorbing this information, the easier it'll be for you to do. Because it won't be a case of, oh, it's Thursday, I've not done anything with my goals this week. No, that's not how goals work. We have to continually work on them. And having to and absorbing all of these things so that we start making subconscious behavior change. So we start making subconscious decisions without having to go, oh, but my goals say this once a week, right? So get them out there and get them visible. Now, that's one of the ways that we set ourselves up for success. I'm very conscious that I've got like 5 minutes left before my self-imposed half hour is up. Another key part is reward and review. So it's really good practice to review how your goals are going. I would say once a week. You know, if you can put in 5-10 minutes into your calendar every single week, it might be on a Friday afternoon, it might be on a Sunday, just whenever works for you. And just ask yourself the question, how is this going? Am I making progress? If yes, great. What do I need to do more of? What do I need to do less of? If no, what do I need to do? How do I get started? And for most people, that's where I talked about that level of self-awareness at the beginning of taking extreme ownership. Am I not making progress because I've done fuck all about it? If yes, then yes. Don't blame, you know, the dancing fair or the supermarket or your boss. It's on you. Your goals are your responsibility. It's on you. So you can, it then starts becoming real life honesty and not just going, well, I couldn't do that because of X, Y, and Z. And there will be sometimes that, you know, life takes over and there'll be things that you can't control and things that come up and slap you in the face. But even then, it's still worthwhile taking a good hard look and going, could I have done anything differently? No, okay, then that's fine. That's why I've not made any progress, and that's cool. Could I have done something differently? Yes. Okay, well, I know for next time. And we don't give up. Don't give up. And the second element that I mentioned there is reward. Now, if you think about, say one of your goals is fat loss, and if you think about your past diet and history, most women don't have a problem losing weight, they have a problem keeping it off. But one of the big things that I see is, oh, I've been really good this week, so I'm going to reward myself with a Domino's and a vat of wine. Or whatever. Like, I don't particularly love Domino's, but it's hugely calorific and disgusting. So rewarding yourself with the things that are not conducive to your goals it's a bit of a silly way to do it, right? So start thinking about what milestones do you have in your goals. So like, let's use the fat loss one. I want to lose 2 dress sizes by April. So what's a good milestone, right? So a good milestone might be every 7 pounds, or it might be for every notch in your belt that you go down, or every increment on the weight at the gym. How do you reward yourself with that? So it doesn't need to be like big expensive things. It might just be a new nail varnish or a new eyeliner, or tweezing your eyebrows, paint your toenails. It could be, a new set, it could be a new pair of Metcon trainers, or it could be a PT session. Like, think about how you're going to reward yourself that is in line with what it is that you want to achieve. Because when you start acting in congruence with your goals, it all becomes a lot easier, because you can imagine you going, right, I've got these health goals, I'm going to get fitter, I'm going to get stronger, I'm going to lose weight. But in order to reward my positive behaviors, I'm going to eat shit and drink shit, right? You're not acting in congruence with what it is that you want to achieve. So get aligned is the key bit there. Okay, so we've covered goals, we've covered what the goal is, why it's important, what is it going to do for you, i.e. so I can. What does it look and feel like when you get there? Milestones and rewards. And I mentioned something else that I can't remember there. Reflection, yeah. So I hope that's helped someone today. Let me know how you got on. If you want to chat about your goals, absolutely. I am doing a New Year offer, and by the time this comes out, actually, there's 3 spaces, but by the time this comes out, they might have actually been gone. But anyway, if you do want to chat about, your own health goals for 2024, I've got 2 coaching packages. Both are 90 days in length. The main difference is the level of support of me in your pocket, but both of them are one-to-one. So if you are interested in overhauling your lifestyle, overhauling your body composition, creating a lifestyle that lasts forever, getting fitter, getting stronger, losing weight, all of these things, then find me on Facebook or Instagram or email, which is emma@teamemw, and just send me a little message and we can have a really quick chat about how we do that. Or you can go and visit the website www.teamemw.com. I think it's Work With Me, can't remember, but it's fairly obvious what it is. And in some instances, you're looking at less than £220 a month for a minimum of 3 months, which is pretty good value. Right, my lovelies, have an amazing Hogmanay when it comes, and a good couple of days at the beginning of the year. And I hope this has helped you set yourself up for success in 2024. And just like that, we have spiced up another episode of Piss Off Perimenopause and the musings of a bullshit queenager. Massive shout out and a huge thank you for hanging out with me today. I really hope you've been entertained. And remember, don't be shy, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, keep those heels high and standards higher. Remember, it's all about glowing, growing and downright owning it. So catch you on the flip side, and don't forget to click the link in the show notes to get your freebie.